So kids, can we get started? 1 second, I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me 1 second. I wanted to put this background for...
Very beautiful, Mataji.
Actually, it was for our Bhagavad Gita session, and now only it has turned up. I don't know.
What Bhagavad Gita session?
So let me share my screen. 1 second. I'm sorry. Sorry, kids, just for making you wait a little bit. I opened, yeah, here it is. Okay, can you all look at the presentation?
Yes, Mataji, we can see the presentation.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji, we could see the PPT.
Okay, we can get started with our prayers with closed eyes. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanajana Shalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasitya Desatayine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi
Saraswati
Gaura
Devi
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Rama Rama Hare
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna.
All right, let's go to our sloka session. We all know the rules, right? The rules is you have to follow a person whoever that leader is, just follow along with that leader. And then we recite it slowly and steadily, not like rushing to complete it, okay? That is the rule that we need to follow. And with that, we have some 4 participants who have raised their hands. And I will call out their names. After I count 3, you can start you can start reciting the verse. Okay, Varsha. Okay, 1 second, I'm sorry. Did I miss somebody? Shreya, Samskriti, Balaram, Varsha and Janavi. Okay, these are the people who are going to recite the sloka. After I count 3. 1, 2, 3, start.
Madhyam chaiva Arjuna Adhyattam vidhi vidyanam Vadha pravalatamaham.
Krishna.
Very nice. Samskriti, Janavi, Balaram and Shreya. Okay, let's make sure to put your hands down so that we may give opportunity to others who may want to recite some other sloka now. Okay, let's see. Balaram, put your hand down here. Janavi also. Okay, Sanvi, Krishna, Ramachandra, Veera Brahma Sai Advait. Okay, these are the 4 people who are going to recite these words. Aksharanam. After I count 3. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Aksharanam Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone, for reciting the sloka very, very nicely. Okay, let's go to the next set of participants. Again, those who have already said the slokas, I think we recited 2 of them. So please put your hand down. Okay, please, please, please. Okay, now we have, okay, let me look at the participants. Okay, Saina, Shriya Dhrit, Arush, Akshita, Rai Prahlad, and Aditya. Go ahead. With this verse, after I count 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mrityu sarvarasa udbhavascha
Hari Bol. So what was the rule? The rule was that you had to follow somebody who was the leader, who just is reciting it loudly and clearly. If you can follow that person, we will also go in the good direction. So that was the rule. I think everybody was following at their own pace. So next time, I want you all to be alert. Okay, I see some more hands raised. Let me see who they are. Yeah, I'll come to the translations. We can all go. See, now I want you to put your hands down if you have already recited the verses, okay? I want to give opportunity to those who haven't even told the words or never recited any of the 3 verses. So that person is going to recite this translation, okay? So that way everybody will feel loved, right? Akshita, you did not recite the verse, dear?
Yes, Mataji, sorry, I did recite the word.
Okay. Rai Prahlad, how about you? I can't hear Rai Prahlad.
When he on the video, it looked like he was in the. I think he did recite it, Mataji.
Oh, okay. So can I call Dhruba? Dhruba did not recite the verse, I believe. Dhruba?
Yes,
Go ahead, Dhruba, with the translation.
Okay.
Here is,
Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle. O Arjuna, of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am
logicians.
logicians, I am the conclusive.
Okay, thank you, dear. Okay, who else is Sharma Subedi Prince? Can you recite this translation? Okay, I don't hear. All right. Kushi? Advait, are you here?
I already said. I forgot to rename myself, and then I said.
Oh, okay. Who else did not get the opportunity? Varun, can you recite the translation?
Oh, of letters, I am letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma.
Thank you, dear Varun. Okay, who else wants to read? I can just go with whoever wants to recite now. No problem if you memorize. Okay, I see Raj Prahlad. Are you on?
I think he doesn't have internet in the car.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so Jahnavi, do you want to go, dear? Go ahead. I am devouring death, all devouring death. Jahnavi?
I am all devouring death, and I am generating principle of all that is yet to be among women. I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, satisfactoriness, and patientness.
Thank you. So now let's go on to our class, all of you. So today's quality is uncontrollable universes generate from his body. From whose body? We are going to see that it is Mahavishnu's body. Yeah, innumerable number of universes.
Mataji, that means because some people say that the gods of Prabhupada says that
they have to have all the 64 qualities. That means they can definitely not get all 64, because this one only Krishna can do it. No one else can have bodies generate from his body.
Yeah.
Correct, correct. So we have 50 qualities. The jiva is capable of producing 50 qualities, and that too it is infinitesimal, meaning very, very small compared to that of the Lord. The Lord has 64 qualities in full. Okay, he has 64 qualities in full, and we have those 50 qualities. Also, we have only infinitesimal, meaning very, very, very small. So we can never, that's why when these Mayavadis say we are becoming God, we can never become God, because we are part and parcels of God, and part and parcels are, so they are only capable of getting these 50, they are having similar 50 qualities, that too in small proportions. Okay, so that should be the understanding, and hence we have to serve in the mood of dasanu 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 das. Okay, servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. That should be the mood we have to always serve. Now let's look into the quality for today and understand specifically what this quality means. Okay, probably 15 minutes of attention from you, and then I'll have question and answer session. Is that a good deal?
Okay.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Okay, Mataji.
Till then, let's not interrupt. After 15 minutes, we can talk, okay? Let me try to complete the slides before that. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, 11th verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma says, "My dear Lord, false ego, intelligence, mind, sky, air, water, and earth are material ingredients of this universe, which can be compared to that of a gigantic pot. In the gigantic pot, my body is of insignificant measurement. And even though one of the many universes is created by me, innumerable universes are coming and going from the pores of your body, just as atomic particles are seen flickering in the sunlight. I think I am very insignificant before you. I am therefore begging your pardon. Please be merciful towards me." So Lord Brahma, if you look at him, he is also called the creator. But if you understand and read Srimad Bhagavatam, you will understand that Lord Brahma is the secondary creator. Okay, after the primary creation is done, which is done by Krishna, the secondary creation happens. And another thing he points out here in this verse is that, see, I am insignificant before you, because see, see, he's comparing himself. See, there is this gigantic pot which has all the material elements, and this pot is in the gigantic pot, my body is a very insignificant measurement, even though many universes are created by me. From your perspective, so many innumerable number of universes are created by you. So from your post, Lord, innumerable number of universes are coming out. So this is your, I have to praise you, because you are responsible for creation of innumerable number of universes. And all these universes, if you look at the individual universes, they all get their life when Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters that universe. Okay, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he acts as a soul for all of the individual universes. And then we have Shirodaksha Vishnu, he goes and enters every living entity's body. He wants to definitely see, why is this Shirodaksha Vishnu with us? He as Paramatma, he is waiting when the soul is going to turn towards Krishna. Yeah, he wants to see when the soul will turn towards Krishna, when the living entity will turn towards the Lord. And for that sake, he is there as Upatrishta and Anumanta, watching us and giving us inspiration. He is the one who gives us spiritual intelligence. So that way he is watching for us. So now we understand that Mahavishnu is responsible for creating innumerable number of universes that comes out of his bodily pores. And then we have Garbhodaksha Vishnu, who enters each and every universe, and he acts as a, so because of him, only the universes become activated. So he acts as a soul for the individual universes. And then the Shirodaksha Vishnu, because of his presence, we are able to, so he is the Paramatma that is there in the Jiva. Okay, he is the super soul that is there in every living entity, irrespective of it is a dog, hog, every living entity, that is Paramatma. And this is what we see, okay, through the understanding of what, who are the three Vishnus, right? Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, and Karanodakshay Vishnu. And here Karanodakshay Vishnu is Mahavishnu, okay? And from him only body, from his bodily pores, the universes are generated. And Brahma, of course, understood how insignificant he is compared to that of Lord, and he's asking, he's begging for his mercy in this verse. Siddharth, you can unmute. Oh, sorry, you can mute. Whoever is on unmute can mute.
Mataji,
Okay.
there's no Siddharth in the class.
Okay, somebody. Okay, let's not get into the details. If one takes account of one universe, he will find so many combinations of wonderful things within, because there are innumerable planets, innumerable residences, and places of demigods. The length and breadth of the universe is 400 million miles by 400 million miles, and it is infested with many unfathomable regions known as patalas, or downward planetary systems. Although Krishna is the origin of all, he can be seen in Vrindavana exhibiting his internal potencies. So, who can adequately worship such an all-powerful Lord possessed of such inconceivable potency? So, for this, I want you to look into this diagram. Okay, if you look into this diagram, we have Patala Loka, we have earthly planet, and we have Swarga Loka. Okay, so the highest is Satya Loka. That is where, so if you look at this, you can understand. See, this Satya Loka is the region of Brahma. Tapaloka is where the austere sages are present. And then we have Makaraloka, where rishis are present. And Swarga, we know Indra is the ruler there. And Bhuvarloka, Rakshasas and ghosts are seen. Bhurloka, we have the earthly planets. And Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, and Narakaloka. So there are 28 hellish planets. And then you look at Patala, it is of serpentine demons. Then Daityas and Danavas, they live in Rasatala. And then many hooded snakes, they reside in Mahatala. Thalatala is Maya Dhanava. And then we have Bali Maharaj, we have demons, Atala again. So these are all lower planetary system, and Earth is the middle planetary system, and the higher planetary systems are all starting with Bhuvarloka. So this is the classification. And when you look at it, we have 14 planetary systems, which are secondarily created by the Lord Brahma. Okay, primary creation is done by Lord Krishna. This is what happens. So okay, when the pores comes, I mean when the universes come on the bodily pore, then the secondary creation happens, which is done through Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, we have as you see, this material world has one Brahma. Likewise, we have several Brahmandas, because of that we have several Brahmas too. And some Brahmas, depending on the length and width of how much miles that planet is, then depending on it, he'll have so much heads also. That's what we saw from last class.
Mataji, can you go back to number 13? I mean 14.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. So let's move on to the slide here. Okay, now let's come to slide number 10, which is where we were. Yeah. So Jayadev Goswami in his Gita Govinda has sung as follows. The Lord has saved Vedas in the form of fish. He has borne the whole universe on his back in the form of tortoise, Kurmavatar. He has picked up his earthly planet from water in the form of boar, Varahavatar. He has killed Hiranyakasipu in the form of Narsimha-Avatar. He has cheated Bali Maharaj in the form of Vamana-Avatar. He has annihilated all the Kshatriyas in the form of Parashuram. He has also killed the demons in the form of Lord Ram. So these are the avatars that the Gita Govind has to offer us. We also have a Gita Govind song. If anybody knows the Dashavatara Sotra from Gita Govinda, it talks about all the avatars of Lord Krishna. Then he also accepted the great plow in the form of Balaram. He has annihilated all the atheistic persons in the form of Kalki, and he has saved all the poor animals in the form of Lord Buddha. These are some of the descriptions of the incarnations emanating from Krishna, and from Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that innumerable incarnations are also coming from the body of Krishna, just like waves of ocean. And no one can count how many waves are there. Can somebody count how many number of waves are there? And similarly, we can also
No,
not see-
Mataji, there's too much.
So we cannot
Yes.
count the waves.
Correct.
No, Mataji.
Yes. Similarly, no one
Right.
can count how many incarnations are coming from Lord's body, because each and every, there are so many millions of universes, right? And there could be millions of pastimes also going on. We don't know where which avatar is going on, which avatar is taking its shape and doing the pastime there. We really, so now we don't have any pastime in the earthly planet presently here in this planet. But then we have so many millions of universes where pastimes could be taking place, which we are not aware of. So Lord has that way the incarnations. Krishna is the source of all, cause of all causes. He is the source. From him only everything originate. And we also saw from, if you look at the, I think the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it talks about Krishna is the father. Krishna is the seed-giving father for all of us. And the mother
Krishna is the
nature is
mother, Krishna is the
Prakriti.
father, Krishna is a being in your house.
Mataji,
Correct. Krishna is the seed-giving father.
Mataji,
Yes, Abhishek.
how
Please.
many avatars of Krishna are in there, Mataji, in numbers?
Yeah, it's 10 Dasha avatar. 10.
Oh, okay, Mataji, thank you.
But there's different avatars besides
And
the Dasha
Mataji,
avatar.
Balam
There
is
are
an
32
avatar
on the
of
earthly
Krishna.
planets.
Mataji, Balam is an avatar of Krishna. Mataji,
Hello.
actually, there are innumerable.
Correct. He's talking about Dasha avatar from Gita Govinda. Now we are talking about Gita Govinda. And if you look at that, there is some song. I think Vrinda knows that song, right? Vrinda, are you on?
Mataji, Ramachandra knows the song.
Oh, Ramachandra also knows the song. You want to?
Yeah. Mataji, Akshita also knows this song.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Akshita, Ramachandra, Brinda, who else recited?
I have a book of Dasavatar.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So let's look into the slide here. It talks about material nature. So the material nature, what does the slide say? Our senses are so imperfect that we cannot see how many stars, how many planets are there in the material universe. Of course, through Vedic literature, we get information of all the planets. We believe or not believe, but all important planets in which we have a connection, they are all described in the Vedic literature, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the thing is, we all have imperfect senses, and whatever our Srimad Bhagavatam offers, that is what we need to go with. And Srimad Bhagavatam is non different than the Lord, and that's why we believe the Shabda Praman. Whatever Lord has to give to us in the form of Shabda Praman, we take it because it is coming from Lord, and it is not tainted. It is not tainted because it's not coming from imperfect people, right? So that is why we need to take it as and it's the essence of all Vedic literature, and whatever Srimad Bhagavatam presents, that is the authority. In school, science might say something and it might contradict to what our Bhagavatam says, but we have to go with what Bhagavatam has to offer because it is coming. We shouldn't have any doubts in that. Okay, we should firmly believe in the fact, firmly believe that Srimad Bhagavatam is what we need to always go to, and everything else comes secondary. Whatever science has to offer, it all comes secondary. There may be contradictions, and when contradictions come, you have to take Srimad Bhagavatam because that is coming from Lord. It is the essence of all Vedic literature, and that is why we need to go with the Shabda Praman. Okay, No confusions on that. As you guys get older, you might have a lot of things which may say this is not that, that is not this, what is, why, how is this contradicting? You will get answers for everything from our acharyas and from our guru vargas and from elevated speakers. So there is absolutely no worries. If there is any questions as to what the science has to offer versus Srimad Bhagavatam, you should definitely ask and clarify. And what about the
Mataji,
spiritual world? Yes, dear Suraj.
so in this you said that they can answer any question. Like I had a question, or like if 5,000, if many years ago there were kings and sages, then where did the dinosaurs come from?
There was no dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are extinct, right?
And how come there's fossils of them? If there were kings and sages in the past, then how come there's not a whole bunch of human bones instead of dinosaur bones?
So the thing is, the dinosaurs are extinct now. Is that a science that says that the dinosaurs were existing,
he's
right? The
saying that
dinosaurs were existing in the past, but it's not there anymore. That is why we have fossils for dinosaurs.
No, Mataji
Yes,
is not saying that.
Huh.
He's saying like so before you know how there was kings and sages?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he's asking why don't we see any fossils of like the kings and sages, but we find fossils of dinosaurs? So how do we know those kings and sages actually back then?
The sages, if you look at our Guru Vargas, we all have samadhi for them. If you go to Vrindavan, if you go to Mayapur, there is samadhi. Samadhis are seen for all the elevated souls. We call it appearance day and disappearance day because we always, we don't collect the fossils or the bones. That looks absurd, right? You know, for the sages and saints, we don't do that. We worship them and treat them as gods. And that is why we do that through samadhi. Samadhi is a place where the body was cremated and we worship that. And we call them as appearance and disappearance day. And we don't say that person is dead. No, we don't do that with our Guru Vargas. We don't do that. It's very important to understand that. So whenever you go to Vrindavan and Mayapur, you can take darshan of the samadhis, because we still feel the acharyas are living in of course it's aprakata, right? Aprakata means unmanifest. They'll be unmanifest to our eyes, but they are engaged in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, and they are there in Vrindavan and the holy dhams. It's just that we don't have the eyes yet to see that.
Mataji, my question was that did the dinosaurs actually exist? Because, like, first of all, if there were...
Hey, Aditya, are you on? I know you know more about dinosaurs because we had so much fascination for dinosaurs.
Mataji, I'm not
Yes,
talking
Mataji,
about
I'm
dinosaurs. I'm asking
were the dinosaurs
why
really there, Aditya, or is it extinct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were dinosaurs, but
There were dinosaurs, but right now, like, there
It is
are
all
only
extinct.
like,
there are only
there are.
fossils.
Yes, then how come
Anyways,
there aren't
let's
many
not talk
fossils
about
of
dinosaurs,
people?
Suraj. Enough of dinosaur discussion. Let's come to our spiritual world, because we are not worried about dinosaurs anymore. We understood about the sages. That was a relevant question. Now Preethi Mataji will come and talk about moral stories. Okay. So anyways, good discussion, Suraj. Your point on saints and sages were relevant, but then dinosaurs is little out of the topic. Okay.
Mataji, you didn't understand my question, but okay, Mataji.
Oh, no problem. Then tell me the question on dinosaur. I'm so sorry.
Mataji, it's not about dinosaurs. It was more about if there were many village people, kings, saints, and many people in 60 million years ago instead of dinosaurs, and how come we find dinosaurs in the ground, not humans?
Okay.
No,
Question, Suraj, if I can answer your question.
Go ahead, ma.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So there is a wonderful archaeologist by the name Michael Cremo, who has done a lot of investigation on this particular question that you have asked. and he has found the remains and bones of human beings alongside with dinosaurs. So he has written a book called as The Human Devolution, uh, and the Mysteries of Human Origins. So I'll send you a picture of those books. You can buy it on Amazon and you can read and you can see real pictures of the bones of human beings existing at the same time when dinosaurs was existing. So
Thank
therefore,
you, Mataji, for answering my question. It was just that did I was having difficulty understanding that were the dinosaurs living with people or what?
yes, they were. They were. Michael Cremo is the scientist who has done a lot of archaeological work and he has documented all his findings in 2 different books. I'll send you links to that books. I'll also send you links to his Facebook page. You can talk to him if you want. You can ask all
Thank
your
you,
questions.
well, Mataji, but I don't need that. My question is over.
Your question. Oh, okay, buddy. Actually, but however, in today's science books, we do see that, dinosaurs were present before humans existed, right? That's what we learn in today's science book. But these discoveries, they are always changing because when another archaeologist comes and he finds something new, it gets updated. So
Yeah,
actually,
because Mataji, they say like there were cavemen back there. But that's
right.
basically people, but they for some reason they don't
Yeah.
count them as people.
Yeah, so you should, I mean, that's the thing, right? Discoveries, every day there's a new discovery and science has to be updated.
Yeah, because cavemen are basically people, but they don't count them as people.
Yeah,
Because they were back then.
Yeah, they basically are humans.
They are humans. And not only that, actually, you're talking about cavemen, even advanced human beings like us, even Homo sapiens, they were present, but then we do not.
Homo
they-
sapiens sapiens, that's what we are.
Yeah, and they were present during that time. The thing is, now there have been many recent discoveries to prove the point that everyone has coexisted. Just like, for example, Hanuman was there. He looks probably like a monkey man, right? But Ram was also there parallelly at that time. It was not that Hanuman evolved into Ram, right? We don't agree to that. So basically, they all coexisted. And there is sufficient proof for that. But then our science books have to get a little more updated and a little more open-minded in terms of accepting all the research that has been recently done. But anyhow, you don't have to go and talk about this in school or argue with your teachers. That's not needed. But just to answer your question, yes, definitely. There have been a lot of research findings. Okay.
Mataji, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was this fish in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I forgot what it's called, but it has a Sanskrit name. I can't remember it. But was that the megalodon? It was like a big fish, very big, like the sunfish.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Matsya.
Yeah.
No,
Matsya,
not
that fish did not, Matsya did not evolve into Kurma. At the time of the presence of Matsya Avatar, Satyavrata Muni was there. He was a human being. So they all coexisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, also, Mataji, what's the megalodon? Everyone says like that's the biggest shark alive, but there was not like any bones or anything that they found.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Actually, I think there are bones of megalodons.
I remember they were.
Yes, some scientists have found fossils of a megalodon.
I just heard that they found teeth and not bones.
No, actually,
they found teeth.
Scientists have found real bones of megalodons.
Yeah, they have found real true fossils of extinct animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They found the jaws and the teeth from megalodon. I mean, you never know.
How do you know that a saber-toothed tiger existed? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just by
you never know. Like, there might be some megalodons still alive because there's like so much of the ocean that people still didn't discover. So.
Yeah.
Everybody mute. Mataji has to say the story.
Yeah, let's continue with the class.
Okay, it was a nice discussion, but very nice class by Radhika Mataji and then interesting discussion by all of you. So now we are going to understand the science of happiness. Okay, happiness is a state of mind. So there's going to be an interesting moral story and then we'll connect it to our scriptures and we'll complete the story. Okay. Once there were 3 brothers. The 3 brothers, they had a very beautiful home. They had a job. So what they would do is they had a little farm. They had a little produce that they would obtain from this farm. And then they would cross the forest from the village, they would cross the forest, they would go to the city, and then they would sell their produce, get some money, come back home, cook a nice meal, and they would eat. This was their lifestyle. The three brothers, they were actually successful, but their life was very monotonous. It was the same thing again and again. They would wake up in the morning, they would pick up some produce from their small farm that they had, they would cross the jungle, they would go to the city, sell their produce, get some money, come back home, cook some food, eat. And the three of them were just together, they didn't have anyone else with them. So eventually, the three of them became very, very sad over a period of time. They felt they didn't have enough in life. They just felt, oh, it's the same thing again and again. We are not successful enough. We are not at all happy. We don't have anything much. So slowly they started getting very discontent, and they were thinking how nice it would be if things in our life changed. There was one of them, among the three of them, one of them desired to have a very big mansion where he could have a lot of servants, a lot of people attending to him, and he could have a big swimming pool and a yard and very nice facilities. That was the desire of one of the brothers. The other brother was constantly thinking, how nice it would be if I had a large farm instead of this tiny farm where I'm getting just a few oranges and apples. I wish I had a huge farm and I could get lots of produce and I could sell so much and make lots and lots and lots of money. That's when I'm really going to be happy. That's what the second brother was thinking. The third brother was thinking, I'm not at all happy now. You know what will make me happy? If I have a beautiful wife. Every day I have to come back and I have to look at the faces of my two brothers. However, if I had a beautiful wife, then I would be so happy. All the problems in my life will just vanish the minute I see her beautiful face. So, like this, the three of them, they would constantly think of what would make them happy. One brother thought a big mansion would make him happy with all facilities and hundreds of people to attend him. The other thought this farm is too tiny. Maybe if I had lots and lots of produce, then I would become rich and I will be very happy. And the third thought, I don't have the right company. If I have a beautiful wife, I will become happy. So their meditation went on and on and on like this. One day, while they were crossing the jungle and going to the farm, they met a very old woman on the way. That woman was carrying a sack on her shoulders and she was returning home. So when these boys they went, they of course they finished their business and they were returning home. They saw this woman carrying a sack and walking. Looking at her condition, they felt a little compassionate. Though they were always hankering for happiness, the three boys were very helpful at heart. They always wanted to help someone. So when they saw this old woman carrying that sack, they thought it's a nice opportunity for us to help her. She seems very old. It's very hard for her to carry the sack. So they went and asked this woman, can we help you? Do you want us to carry the sack for you? You appear very old. Then the woman said, okay, that will be of great help if you can be a little kind and carry the sack for me. So the three brothers, they had a very nice conversation with her. They were talking very nicely with her and they helped her and they took turns and carried the sack and they went all the way to her house and dropped it off in her house. She was carrying apples in that sack. So they just helped her take the apples home and they dropped her at home and they made sure she's safe and then they were ready to return. So at that time, this old woman, she stopped them and she said, you have done me a very great favor. You have helped me carry this sack. You're very kind boys, very, very nice boys. I want to give you a boon. I want to give you something that you desire. So please tell me what you want. Now, this lady, she had magical powers. She was like a fairy. She had lots of magical powers that she could do. She could transform lives. She could give riches. She could do all sorts of things. So the three brothers were so excited. They told her, "We are not at all happy. We are very, very sad. Nothing is making us happy." Then this lady asked, "So what will make you happy? Tell me, I can give whatever you want." Then the first brother said, "I wish I have a big mansion. If I have a very big mansion with a lot of people to attend it, then I will be very, very happy." Then the second brother said, "If I have a large farm with lots of produce, I can sell so many different produce and I will become very happy." And the third one said, "If I have a beautiful wife, all my problems will be solved and I will always be smiling. I'll never be morose like this." So when the woman heard their desires, she immediately sanctioned those desires, and at the, at the, what do you say?
At that moment.
Blink of her finger. What do you say? Okay,
Snap.
that very moment. Okay,
Click of
that
her mind.
okay.
A snap of a finger.
Snap of her finger. Yes. So at that very moment, a huge mansion appeared, and when this boy, the first one, walked to his old home, he saw that the house was converted into a big mansion. And as the second boy walked, he saw his little farm had become like really, really acres of land, and there was fresh produce everywhere. And the third one saw that he had a very beautiful wife appear there in front of him. And the three of them became extremely happy. They were thinking that all their desires are actually fulfilled. So this went on for a while. It was a year. Happiness was there abundant for the three of them. Then it was the second year. Slowly, what happened was the first boy, he was seeing that the mansion started becoming a little old. There were some problems he had to fix. Sometimes the servants would not attend to him properly. There were a lot of issues. So slowly, sadness started coming in. And with respect to the second boy, the first year the yield was very good. Second year, he had a drought. So the yield had actually fallen. And he was thinking, in spite of having such a big farm, I'm not able to get enough produce. And with the third one, first year was very blissful, very, very happy. But with time, when you're living with a person for too long, you get bored with that person. So he was getting bored with the wife, and they just didn't know what to do. They were not getting along well much, and there were a lot of fights. So he was also getting unhappy with time. So the second year passed, then little bit of unhappiness came. Third year passed, more unhappiness came. Fourth year passed, even more unhappiness came, because right from the source of their happiness, they were thinking, this is the source of my happiness. They were thinking, okay, this mansion is the source, this farm is the source, this woman is the source of my happiness. But the same source was actually slowly giving them sadness. So they were feeling very, very down, and the three of them, they spoke to each other, and they were telling their problem that we thought we could be happy. Yes, we were happy for some time, but after some time, what happened? Sadness started coming from the same source that we thought is actually making us happy. So they thought the only person who can solve our problem is to go back to that old woman. So they made a trip to that old woman's house, and they went and asked her. They told her, you gave us a mansion, you gave us a huge farm, and you also gave me a beautiful woman. But then we are not happy now. We are not able to find happiness in it anymore. So at that time, the lady smiled. Actually, that lady, when they went and visited that lady in her home, you know how her house was? It was a very simple house. It was a simple thatched roof house. And she was just making some simple porridge. That's all. But she was so happy all the time. So these boys, they asked her, how is it that you're so happy? You have the capability of giving us whatever we wish, but you have such a simple lifestyle and you're so happy. And why is it that we are not happy in spite of having everything? So at that time, the lady said, actually, happiness is not about what you have. Happiness is about the state of mind. You can find happiness if you have the right consciousness, and the right state of mind. If you're complacent, meaning if you're happy with what you have, if you're contented with what you have, if you're very content, satisfied with what you have, if you have gratefulness, even a little, if you always feel grateful, I got this, then surely happiness will be with you. Just for example, there is a person who's very hungry, okay, very very hungry. He's not eaten for 10 days. You just go and place a beautiful plate of prasadam in front of him with rice, dal, sabji, puri, kheer, and sweet and vada and everything. You just give it to him. How happy he would be. He would be so happy. Why is he happy? He's happy because he's feeling so grateful, right?
And he has value for the food.
He has value for the food. Exactly. He's feeling grateful. He's having that value for the food. Whereas you give the same plate in front of a person who has eaten to his stomach full, he's not going to appreciate it. So the woman was telling, you should, happiness is a state of mind. It is not about what you have. Rather, how you can make yourself happy is by training your mind to understand that actually you're happy. This is enough for you to be happy. So when you change your mind, when you change your consciousness, when you feel grateful for the little things you have in life, that is when you will actually be happy. There is a similar story in our scriptures. And it's very easy to say happiness is a state of mind. Oh, you have to keep your mind happy. It's very easy to say that. But actually, practically, how do you do it? In this world,
that story from the touchstone.
Yeah, it's the touchstone. I remember this. Can I say it?
Yes, go ahead. Tell it.
So it was basically the person, he went to Sanatan Goswami and then he said there was a touchstone he threw away. And then he gets it and then he says, like, whatever you touch, it turns into gold. So he touched like mostly everything in the house into gold.
Yeah.
I have that book.
And then he sold.
Very good.
Yeah, I have it too. And then he sold everything. But then at once, I think, like, he accidentally touched his daughter with it, and the daughter became gold.
Really?
I don't know if it's just story. There was another story like this, I guess.
Isn't
But
that from Midas? Advice. That was from Midas. The last part when he touched his
Midas.
daughter. That was Midas.
Actually, in Greek mythology,
that was the Midas touch, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Midas
touch. Midas touch.
Yeah, that's from Greek.
Yeah, from
Greek
mythology.
Midas gets the king Midas gets a boon, and then he turns everything to gold.
Some guy gives him a boon that everything that you touch will become gold. And then
what's the story in the scripture? He just gets everything gold, and then I forgot. He touches most of the things gold, and then something else happens. I forgot.
Something else happened. He was curious why Sanatan Goswami had thrown this into a trash bin, right? He had just thrown it on a pile of trash. So he was curious and he was thinking, that means Sanatan Goswami has something higher than this touchstone, because this touchstone is supposed to give everything. It's made me very rich. But Sanatan Goswami is like a mendicant and he has thrown such a precious thing in a pile of trash. That means he has something more precious. That's why he's so happy. Right? And then he goes to ask Sanatan Goswami, tell me, what is it that you have? You seem to have something higher.
Oh, yeah. And then Sanatan Goswami says, take the touchstone and throw it away. And then
put it back in the garbage can. Then just take
and then start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Right, because that is the only thing that can give happiness to the soul. The rest of it is about the body and the mind. You see, the old woman was telling these boys that you're looking after externals, thinking that these things will make my body happy. But then happiness is a state of mind. But here we have Sanatan Goswami who's telling us that you have to transcend the body, you have to transcend the mind also, and then you have to give your soul, your actual person, that person within you should be happy. That is possible only with Mahamantra, because the eternal nature of the soul is to serve the Lord, right? And what is the prayer of the Mahamantra? The Mahamantra is, O Radharani, engage me in your service. That is when actually the person feels happy. Yeah, so we have to go a step further. The old woman's advice was very good. That is nice. Yes, we should follow that. But there is something higher in the scriptures. They are telling us, chant the holy names of the Lord, take shelter of the Lord, and that will give you greater happiness. And you see that actually happen in, many devotees have shown it in their lives. Like, for example, Narada Muni. Narada Muni was cursed. He was cursed by so many people. The most,
He cursed by
he
that he won't be able to stay in any place for more than 2 minutes.
he has to. He can't stay at one place for like too long. He has to.
You can't say he can't stay for more than one place for over 2 minutes because he's always taking sannyasa and all that.
Yeah,
but Mataji,
do you think he was happy or sad?
Mataji, but he took it. The curse doesn't work in the spiritual world.
That's right. It doesn't work in the spiritual world. But when Narada Muni was cursed by Prajapati Daksha, it came to life. I mean, he did have to travel around because he was here in the material realm that time.
Yeah.
So but was he happy or sad in such a distress?
Happy.
Right?
Happy.
Yeah, he was happy.
He could spread Krishna consciousness
Because he
more.
chanted
the God.
Because
The
could use
curse,
that opportunity
Narada Muni,
to
the
serve.
curse, he turned it into a blessing.
Exactly. He could use it as an opportunity to serve.
Yeah, he spread everything. He spread Krishna around.
Yeah.
So like he could start at one place for 2 minutes.
He showed everybody that he should not stay in one place for a long time.
Right. And the next picture is Hanuman. What is he doing?
Burning Lanka.
Burning Lanka.
It is
on fire.
If a part of your body is on fire, will you be happy or sad?
Really
mad.
Pain.
Yes, but Hanuman, even in that condition, he was thinking about doing service. Yeah. And the third picture, what do you see?
Shiva and Parvati and in Chitraketu Maharaj in the plane.
What was Chitraketu Maharaj cursed to be?
He was cursed to be a demon.
Right. What did he do?
He was supposed to eat.
Was cursed to be
a demon, Vritsasura.
Yeah, and
he was sad.
But he was very submissive. And what did he say? I'm ready to be anywhere as long as I can serve. And what did Lord Shiva tell about him?
He's a very great devotee. Should have not cursed him.
Yeah, and also devotees of Lord Krishna, they are happy in all circumstances. Wherever they go, they only seek an opportunity to serve. It doesn't matter which loka they are or which kind of body they are. They are always fixed in service and they are always happy.
Bali Maharaja was in Sutala Loka.
I know. And they are always happy because they are serving the Lord. Very nice. So, Mahatma Gandhi, there's a famous word.
Oh,
Be the chief.
What is that girl? Are you the biggest girl in the whole wide world?
I don't know. It's a picture that was there in the template. I thought it was beautiful, so I put
beautiful.
Change you want to see.
It looks like there's a forest fire.
Oh really? Aww. No, it's a big.
Well, the animal looks weird.
Yeah, what is that animal? I think it's some sort of a movie. Right?
Gorilla or something.
Movie.
I don't think it's a real animal.
Okay, it's an
animal. Of course it isn't. An animal can't be like 15 times as big as a human.
So therefore.
Yeah. Okay.
So, are you guys always happy?
Mostly.
Try to be happy.
That's impossible to always be happy.
You can be happy only when
you have Krishna.
Yeah.
So Krishna.
Yeah, I mean, nobody.
The whole name.
This material world is like that. Nobody can be happy all the time. It's not possible at all. But then, when we have Krishna in our life, it is possible to at least try to be. Not really, but at least try.
It is possible to be happy in the material world forever. It is extremely hard to be happy in the material world forever, but in the spiritual world, it's really easy. It's extremely hard, but it's possible.
It's possible if we have Krishna.
Only Prabhupada can do it.
Because he had Krishna, right?
He had Krishna in his soul 24.
Narada Muni was happy all the time. You've never seen he had a story where he was sad. Yeah, Narada Muni.
Except the one.
All like devotees of Krishna because they have Krishna are happy.
Actually, Narada Muni was sad once.
When he
Because in
missed the vision of the Lord?
When he was cursed by Brahma, he was sad for some time, but he was happy after.
No, I meant the one where he saw the half-killed animals.
Oh yeah, that is Paradipati, a Vaishnava.
He felt compassion.
Oh, it's
Yeah, he
Valmiki.
felt sad that time. I don't like seeing blood, even one drop.
It's Valmiki.
Yeah.
No, it's Murgari.
Oh
Yeah, Valmiki.
Murgari.
Murgali is Valmiki later.
Because he was a monk.
Mataji,
No,
cross over Mataji.
No, Ratnakar is
Over.
Hi Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Is there any crafting?
Vaishnav Bhajan class.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Bye bye.